Elephant is part of one of the largest auto insurance companies in the world with operations in 7 countries. But we only have one hometown, Richmond. Thank you, Richmond. We're proud to be one of your fastest growing employers. More care, less cost. That's the Elephant difference.
Yeah, it was a great game. I thought, obviously the final score really doesn't illustrate how competitive the game was and how hotly contested it was. Davidson's obviously a terrific team, as evidenced by the way that they beat us 9 days ago. I did want to say that I think what they did in the Atlantic 10 regular season is historic and truly amazing. Somebody asked me a week or two ago if I was surprised, and I said no, because I know how successful Coach McKillop and his teams have been. But we researched it when we came to the Atlantic 10 a few years ago. Nobody's really ever done what they've done, in terms of going from a conference ranked in the 20s in the RPI to a top 7 or 8 league in the country, and in the first season won it. And what's really impressive is nobody has really talked about lately is they did it without Jack Gibbs for, 6 or 8 games. So really take my hat off to them. It says a lot about our guys that we were able to come out and beat them today. And now we're excited about moving forward to tomorrow.
All right, questions for Coach Smart. Here.
Coach, you mentioned yesterday that the game against Richmond was a big game for you confidence-wise. Is today's game what you meant by that?
You mean the way we played today? Yeah, I think the Richmond game yesterday really helped us today. Hopefully today's game will help us with tomorrow. But Richmond had beat us 2 straight games. The second one was really, really tough one to take because we were up 3 with 7 seconds left and we just didn't finish it out. So for us to be able to come back when they were up for most of the second half and beat them, I think that gave our guys a level of belief. Bree really has provided a swagger for us for 3.5 years. And then when he went out so abruptly, we had to kind of find ourselves again, not so much in terms of how we play, but in terms of who we are and our identity. So these 2 games have been big in helping reshape that.
How important was it to have Jonathan get inside that zone off the dribble?
Yeah, it was big. I thought it was a really good adjustment by Davidson to go zone, and it threw us off for a few possessions. We got a little stagnant. It's always a tricky situation where when you have a lead, how aggressive you want to be, because you certainly don't necessarily want to shoot in the first 5-10 seconds of the shot clock, but at the same time you want to be aggressive. Johnny, I thought overall, gave us a huge lift. Jaquan was in foul trouble, so Johnny came in and played big minutes. The most impressive thing he did actually was on the defensive end. He didn't play perfect, but he really defended their guys, for him really, really well. He's had issues with alertness in the past and staying aware and ready. Today was a good game for him in that respect. And then the way that he went to the foul line and made free throws was huge.
Chris.
Coach, 9 days ago you guys went down, got down early and weren't able to respond. Today you went down 16-4 and answered with a 40-12 run. Can you talk about what was different this time around?
Well, I think our guys had more of a, as Oliver used to say, a steely resolve to keep playing and keep fighting. The game also wasn't in their arena. I mean, that game down there, it reminded me, their crowd, their team, their energy reminded me of some games that we've had in the Siegel Center late in the year where you can just feel it and there's not much the other team can do. So this one obviously was on a neutral site, and I want to say thank you and how appreciative I am to our fans for coming up here, and hopefully they can be just as loud, if not louder, tomorrow.
Back here.
Coach, how would you grade Mo's performance today, even though he was battling foul trouble for a little bit?
I thought Mo was terrific. Mo's had a great year, and he came into our program as a guy that we knew could be really good, but we knew the biggest step for him was just confidence in himself and assertiveness. And he's grown in leaps and bounds in those 2 areas. He still doesn't think he's as good as I think he is, but today was a big step in that direction. This was, I think his career high coming in today was 12 points. He's just been solid and really good all year long. But this was from a scoring standpoint, a breakout performance. And after the way that LaSalle was able to score inside against Davidson, we told our guys, hey, we got to go into Mo and at least, really, really try to pound it in there. And not only did it help us put some points on the board, but it kept Aldridge in foul trouble, and he's a really good player, so it limited his minutes.
Justin.
What would you say the biggest difference is between 9 days ago and today, that game and this game?
Well, I think we played with better energy. We defended their motion much better. Certainly we were far from perfect, but Davidson's a team, if you're just a half step off defending their motion, they make you pay and they make you look really, really bad. And they did that to us 9 days ago. I mean, they cut us up with layups and slips and wide open threes, and Brian Sullivan's catching and eyeing us down and then banging threes and smiling, and they were on a roll. And they got going early today. I thought the way our guys kind of gritted their teeth and said, no, we can be better, was big, and then we were able to get more stops.
Paul, did you have a question?
Yeah, might as well.
Two more.
Shaka, there was a point, 5:41 left in the game. Davidson's in his zone. Trevion was calling for the ball, got it, made it. Is that what you expect from your seniors in that situation to take?
Yeah, I was actually screaming for them to throw him the ball too, because the way they were playing that zone, they would get a little bit distorted, and if we could just make that one more pass to a good shooter, we could shoot it in. So it was a big, big shot, because I don't know exactly what the score was at the time, but Davidson certainly was mounting a charge, and for Trey to step up and make really all the threes he made today were back-breaking shots, and that's why he's a really, really good player.
All right, anyone else?
I ask one.
Yeah, follow up and we'll get him, and then we'll be done.
You're right. It wasn't just Trevion making threes. Jordan dropped one in. It seemed like everybody had more confidence today. Was that because Davidson was really willing to run with you and you guys like to do that, or was it just you guys are coming around?
Well, I think seeing the ball go in yesterday a few times was big for our guys. And then the other thing, I know I sound like a broken record, but we got a lot of high-quality shots. So when you get high-quality looks from outside and it's a good shooter, then you plan on those things hopefully going in a decent amount of times. So that was probably why we were able to shoot 50% from three.
Right back here.
Coach, now that you've been to the championship game 3 straight years, which it'll be tomorrow, how do you approach that game, playing with guys who have been there 2 straight years and have come out on the losing side?
Yeah, I think the only thing that we really focus on as it relates to the last couple of years is learning from maybe what we could have done differently, not so much basketball-wise, but with our mental approach. I think today was a really, really good lesson for us going into tomorrow. We had to respond. We got down. We had to stay together. We had to buckle down on defense. And, those are some of the things that, maybe the last couple of years we didn't do as well in the championship games. But we lost to good teams too. It's not just about your team. It's the team that you're playing against. But we're not dwelling on those 2 years. I'm sure everyone else will, but we're in the moment. We came up here to try to win 4 games. And as Trey or Mo said, we just want to go 1-0 in the current game. So we did that today, and that's our goal for tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Elephant is part of one of the largest auto insurance companies in the world with operations in 7 countries. But we only have one hometown, Richmond. Thank you, Richmond. We're proud to be one of your fastest growing employers. More care, less cost. That's the Elephant difference.